So how do you feel where we are currently in this country, the way we view the arts? And, well, you just, like, I didn't finish the sentence and I could see it in your face.
Well, we could talk about the CBC, we could talk about public broadcasting, we could talk about the arts, we could talk about a lot of things, and it would be, there's some enormous, wonderful things, and there's some very hard headwinds that we're facing into. We could talk about the headwinds, and it's tough. I mean, just look at the budget of the CBC, let's talk about that now. Right? That's a headwind. And people don't understand the role of a public broadcaster in the whole ecosystems that we're, and it's absolutely essential. A public broadcaster, which belongs to the public, which is like a public park of broadcasting, where everyone's allowed in a public park. That's what a public park is for. Anybody can come in. That's a public broadcaster, to tell the stories and the news, the local news and drama and all of this back and forth. That's the public broadcaster. And when you decide to shrink it, you actually shrink the public park in your city and in your country. And that's not a great place to go.
And what's interesting is that, you know, even the private broadcasters in this country, some of whom I've worked for and will again.
And they do great jobs.
Yeah, but they're also
private broadcasters.
But they're also public broadcasters because they take money from the government. None of these people make shows without getting some tax break, some fund. Everything in this country is publicly funded, arts-wise.
Because we do not have the market, we do not have, you know, you cannot make your return on a television show, you cannot make return on a movie because we have a small market.
What's important?
You got to do something. If you want a Canadian story, if I want to tell a story from Saskatoon, or if I want to tell a story about Vancouver Island, it's got to be, you got to figure out some way to tell it. If you leave it just to bare, bald, and brutal market forces, there will be no Canadian stories told on television and radio.
And you think that we'd be worse off?
So what are you going to do about that?
You think we'd be worse off without that?
Sorry?
You think we'd be worse off without those stories being told?
If you're going to grow up and mature, you have to hear the stories about your life, your family's life, your nation's life, your community's life. If you're not, you don't exist.